Welcome, everyone, to another amazing episode of Bumping and Thumping, your podcast featuring everything about four independent wrestling from around the world. And our special guest today is flying in from Laredo, Texas. She is the first ever two-time IPW Women's Champ. She is the Chaos Women's Champ. She is the Divine Pro Women's Champion. And her actions only bring more amazing accomplishments to her resume. And when we return from a word from our sponsors, we'll be right back with Stella Buho. Stay tuned.
Mosquito-borne diseases or mosquito-borne illnesses are diseases caused by bacteria, viruses, or parasites transmitted by mosquitoes. Nearly 700 million people get a mosquito-borne illness each year, resulting in over 725,000 deaths. If you live near a pond or lake, or you're scheduling an outdoor event, go online or call today for your free consultation.
Cool. All right. Cool. How was that, Stella? Was that good?
That was good. Yeah.
Cool. All right. So we will. Are you ready for the first segment, Tony? What's that? Yep. Sure do. All right. Welcome back, everyone, to Bumping and Thumping, your podcast featuring everything about four independent wrestling from around the world. I'm Annie, and joined with me is the amazing Guardian Owl, Stella Buho. Stella, how are you feeling today?
I'm feeling pretty good, honestly. How are you?
I'm great. I always love the opportunity to talk with amazing talent such as yourself. So, I want to take this opportunity to really get to know Stella Buho. She's incredible from everything that you put out there. So, tell us, how did your love of professional wrestling develop?
I got into professional wrestling. I started watching it when I was really young. I had three brothers. None of them really got into it, surprisingly. But I was just fascinated with like the story of everything, and I got so entrapped in it. And that began with my stepfather introducing it to me, and I just got so engrossed into it that I just wanted to do it.
Right. Is there anyone in particular that you were just so fascinated by?
I feel like this would probably be an answer that a lot of people have. I started watching like the older DVDs, and most of them had Shawn Michaels in it, and just the stories that he would tell just were beautiful.
So what about Shawn Michaels really inspired you?
Just the way like he could like show all that emotion and the resilience to keep going after everything, and like there were so many times where it looked like he would quit and he just got back up.
And I really think that speaks to your character already. I mean, you handle whatever comes at you with such grace and finesse that you only just improve every time that I see you step between the ropes. And I can kind of trace where the love for Shawn Michaels comes. So how did your path into professional wrestling develop?
It actually developed, surprisingly enough, in Muskegon, Michigan.
Okay.
There was an IPW show that I saw on the, like, they had like this LED screen that would like flash the things that were happening on the LSD 393. And I saw that there was a pro wrestling show coming up, and I was like, I had to go see that because I've never seen anything besides WWE.
Yeah.
And I went there to go watch, and I ended up running into a couple people that would later introduce me to my now trainer, Josh Raymond. And it just snowball effect from there.
Yeah. And it's so amazing how many people don't know that independent wrestling really does exist. Like how it goes so far under the radar is kind of astounding, because like once you're in it yourself, it feels like it's all encompassing.
Yeah, I definitely understand that. I was in so much disbelief that there was a whole nother side of wrestling out there that I haven't even seen. And there's like so many companies, there's so many different places. I was like mind blown.
I know, like, how does this like coexist with the regular world and it not be brought to my attention? Like, you know, like yourself, I didn't know that there was. I would like in the independent wrestling scene to almost the minor leagues of professional wrestling. So it's just crazy. Like when you stumble upon it, like it doesn't ever go away. So what was your very first match like, and how have you grown into the individual you are now?
First match, obviously, I feel like everyone's terrified for.
Sure.
The nerves before you go out there are unlike anything. You think going on a roller coaster would be terrifying. It's like a million times worse. You feel like you're going to throw up. You immediately have to use the bathroom, everything at once, and like
100%.
But you also know that this is what you want to do, that you have to go out there. You have to see what this is like. And the first match didn't obviously go the most perfect way. I think it actually started with my entrance. The music was all it wasn't what my theme was, but you have to just roll with the punches. You can't just not go out,
Right.
And then from there, the match, I had Randy West for my first match.
Wow, really?
I don't think I could have asked for someone with any, like, she's so good. So good, so nice, so gentle, which is like not something that you would actually assume, but like when you're on her good side, obviously, she is probably the best locker room leader that I've ever met.
I couldn't agree more with you there, because it took me probably a year and a half to approach Randy before I actually talked to her, because I had such deep respect for her and I really wanted her to like me. So, and she just has this seemingly like rough exterior, but it's funny because you have to get to know her for that other side to come out. So, I'm really glad you had such an amazing first experience with Randy. When I first had my ring announcing experience ever, I was so nervous. Someone had to push me through the curtain. And just the anticipation of everyone's eyes on me was just, I felt that like I was so over my head. Was it comparable to your experience?
Maybe not to that extent, but I do know that it was kind of hard for me to feel myself, because ironically enough, I did watch your last podcast with Rory Shield, and my first match, it was a week after her debut in wrestling and her debut at IPW. So when I came out, everybody thought I was her and kept yelling at me, "Rory, take off the mask." And I'm like, I'm not the same person. It was so hard to get people to realize that we're two separate people. Which further down the line, they brought her back and we went back. We had so many matches together at IPW among other places. But I was so scared because they're like, they don't even know it's me. They think I'm someone else, and it was so hard.
Oh my gosh, what cognitive dissonance that must have been. Like, you are your own entity and other people thought, oh my god, that's so funny. So how did you kind of work with that obstacle? Like, did you like just put one foot in front of the other and just proceed as you intended to?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really know what else to do. I was already kind of panicking about the match itself with Randy West of all people. So it was a lot of emotions at once. I'm like, I don't know why they're saying this, but like the only thing I can do is just keep going with it, and hopefully they'll realize, hey, they're not the same people.
Oh my gosh, that is quite the experience to have in your first couple of weeks as a wrestler. Oh my gosh, I could never imagine. So, you have your friend Oliver right behind you, I see.
Yeah.
How does he aid you in your wrestling journey?
Definitely a moral support.
Yeah.
I was introduced to him through a loved one, and I just kind of kept him underneath my wing since then.
Sure.
And he's obviously aided me in a couple matches.
Yeah.
Notably against Heather Blue. Heather Blue always loves messing with Oliver, so usually Oliver fights back. Sometimes it can be a disadvantage, as some people do. Again, take advantage of him being ringside, and that just makes me fight a little harder, a little stronger.
Sure. All right. Stella, we've unpacked so much in our first segment, but after a word with our sponsors, everyone, we will be right back with Stella Buho. Don't go anywhere.
Hi, I'm Jay Aubrey Jackson, the $50 computer virus guy in Metro Detroit. We are the home of the true flat $50 computer repair. $50 a job, no matter how long it takes. Never a penny more. Netbooks, laptops, desktop towers, all-in-one computers, phones, iPhones, tablets, iPads, and game systems. Free diagnosis and money-back guarantee. If we don't fix it, you pay nothing. And we do same-day service within 24 hours of drop-off. And are open 7 days a week, so come to the computer virus guy now.
Welcome back, everyone, to Bumping and Thumping, your podcast featuring everything about foreign independent wrestling from around the world. Flying in today is the amazing Stella Buho. Stella, you have acquired so much championship gold over the past couple months. I can imagine that your gear bag is really heavy. You know,
It really is. Yeah.
It really is. So, and you've climbed to immeasurable heights to achieve what you have. So, what notable opponents have you faced along the way?
Numerous, obviously, but along, like, I would consider Rachel Armstrong one of like one of the fastest rising females on the indies. Same thing with Ari Alexander. I actually took a title from her. I've been wrestling her a lot, actually. I took a title from Ari down in Shelbyville, Indiana at New Era.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, Blair Onyx.
Very cool.
She's pretty spooky. But she's awesome.
I don't like spiders. I'm not a fan.
And then Ruthie J. I think I believe she's signed to NWA.
She is.
Or has some sort of contract. Yes. I got to wrestle her back last year in 2023, and it was a pleasure to wrestle her. I think I have another match with her in it coming up as well.
You do. You're in a cage match at FU, and it's a fatal 4-way to announce the FU Women's Champion, first ever. So what are your thoughts as we grow closer to that show, because it's coming up?
It is coming up. It's literally next Friday.
It is. It's next week.
Yes, it is. The nerves are definitely built up. So incredibly nervous, but also so honored to be in contention for a debuting title. Like, as much as it is nice to have them, to feel like you've earned them and have to pave your own path to get there,
absolutely
feels so much better, you know? But yeah, I'm not a big fan of the cage, just because, like, it's a cage.
Yeah.
What animal would want to be? Might have to keep this guy kind of hidden away from that.
You know, creatures with wings as big as the ones that you have don't do too well in cages. So I can imagine that all the claws will be coming out. So, you know,
definitely.
The women in that match better keep their eyes on you. So what did you learn about yourself along the way to acquiring all of your championships?
Hard work definitely does pay off,
Yeah.
and whether you think people are watching or not, they're definitely watching. I never did something just to catch people's eye or like try to outshine anybody else. I always think of wrestling as a partnership. You're trusting other people with your body as well as they're trusting you with theirs. Like there's so many things that could go wrong, and things have gone wrong, but you gotta go with the punches. I feel like definitely being there when people least expect you to be there and being that helping hand does a whole lot for your
Absolutely.
career.
And I definitely see from my own interactions with you that you are always the first to pull out chairs. You're always the first to break down a ring. And those are, I don't want to just say like easy things to do, but those are things that is perfectly within the realm of capability to put you on the trajectory that you want to go even faster. And I just think that's so overlooked by so many people in the wrestling community. Do you have any thoughts on that?
I do. As easy as it may seem, I know that some people have lives and sometimes it's hard to like I've had to leave before I could do anything or show up late that I can't help with setup, but I definitely think it's a basic etiquette thing that most people should learn and like continue to do. I do know that some people feel like once they hit a certain level in their tenure or just in their career, I feel like they lose sight of the basic etiquette that they learned when they first started training. And it all kind of revolves around respect of the ring.
You know, I'm a huge believer in like all hands on deck. Like it takes so many helping hands to put up the stage that we love so much. And you know, things move faster if everyone if they can just take a second to help. You know, I think that's one experience that just makes the community that much richer.
It definitely does. And sometimes, honestly, I've made the most friends from just doing basically that. Because you get to meet everyone, you get to learn their personalities, you get to have those inside jokes during those times. It's the best.
You know, some of my favorite moments are before and after the show, like when, you know, like troubleshooting the things that are going wrong with the ring. And it's like, oh my God, how do we overcome this obstacle? Because we have all of these fans and they're expecting a show. They don't care about the ropes not being tight. They don't care. Like they paid for an experience. They deserve it.
They do. They definitely do.
So one thing I really appreciate about you is how well you connect to the young souls watching you. You are so involved. You love slapping hands as you come out the curtain. What does it mean to you to be almost like a role model for those young souls watching you?
So it was always scary thinking that people would look up to me because I might not always be the best role model. I do try to be, but it definitely is something that fills your heart with so much like warmth and butterflies. Like seeing like a little girl come up to me and be like, "You're my favorite wrestler," and it's like exactly that feeling. It's like, oh, can I have a hug? It's the best feeling, and even with older people, like not saying that people are old, but like the normal age people, just having that emotional connection with them, it definitely is the fuel why I keep going. If I didn't have anyone having my back, like the fans have my back, I don't think I would have gotten this far.
And you know, the wrestling business is a huge, expansive industry where it's so easy to feel lost and like you feel like you're in over your head. But I agree with that support. It only propels you forward. And I love that for you, because from this point on, your career is only going to accelerate. I can't wait to see what comes up for you, because the sky's the limit. You have the wings that are going to help you soar. So we have to take a break. Our sponsors want to get a word in. So after this break, we will be right back with Stella Buho. Don't go anywhere.
Washtenaw Golfside in Ypsilanti, where everyone comes to play.
Welcome back, everyone, to our final segment of Bumping and Thumping, your podcast featuring everything about foreign independent wrestling from around the world. Join with me is the ever-talented Stella Buho. Stella, you are the first ever two-time IPW Women's Champ. What have you had to do to etch your name in those history books?
I feel like the first time I won the title, it was obviously a big storyline with Rory and Randy West. Rory Shield and Randy West. I took my first title from Randy West, which was a complete honor. At first, Randy had respect for me and was excited to see where I was going, which quickly turned into a sort of hatred as like we went on. And of course, Rory challenged Randy first for that title, and so there was probably a good 6 months of continuous between all three of us going at it. When I won that title, my first title in Muskegon, Michigan, of all places, where everything started, 2 years after I went to that show, it was really hard to hold in the tears and the emotions. I just didn't want to cry in the ring. Like, I was just like, just breathe it in, like live it up. And it was a really, really good feeling. And I went on to defend that title numerous times after I won it. With almost every woman in the state. I still have a couple to cross off that list. But once Thunder Kitty started stepping into the ring with me, which, ironically enough, her and Randy West used to go at it. Once Thunder Kitty started showing up to IPW, I think she started seeing that I was a little too overconfident with things, and she took that to her advantage and won the title like two months before I would have hit my 1 year with that title.
Wow.
Yeah. It was super close. And me and her have gone back and forth. She got the better of me a couple times, and I was given another opportunity to fight her for the championship, and I turned it down.
Really?
And I told her.
What? You turned it down?
Yeah, I turned her down because I wanted an opportunity to win it back at War on the Shore. But if I were to lose that opportunity, lose the match, I would never face her again for the championship.
Wow, I got chills. That's, it takes something really special that you turned down that opportunity. Why did you turn it down?
I felt as though I was given too many chances, and the fact that I lost the championship because I lost perspective of where I was going with where I wanted to take IPW, where I wanted to take the women's division. I felt like given too many opportunities, I would just keep wasting them over and over again. So when I faced her and I gave her that ultimatum of either I lose and I never face you again, or I beat you and we wrestle at War on the Shore in a no DQ first blood match.
Wow.
That's that's all I could. I felt like that was the right time for everything.
Yeah. You know, it's spoken like a true champion, honestly. Like, there's so much riding on you, and you have so many eyes watching your every move that's pretty remarkable, Stella. Like, and no wonder why you're holding so many belts right now. You are a champion in word and in action. So I just think that's amazing. So last week, we had Ricky Morris on the show, and she expressed to me that there was one person in particular she wanted a singles match with, and that person was you. What are your thoughts on that?
To be honest, she's definitely on my list too.
Awesome.
Like I said, I told you that I face most of the women in Michigan, and somehow, some way, Ricky Morris and Stella Buho have never been in a singles match. I think we've been in maybe one match, maybe two matches before, but they were either rumbles or nothing where it's just her and me in the ring. Somehow, some way, no one's ever booked it.
And you know what? My sentiments were exactly the same when she told me that you two have never faced off. And I'm going to say it again. Like, all right, promoters, if you're watching this, Ricky and Stella, they have come to you with your demands. Book it. Book this match. All right, Stella, we have to take one more break from our sponsors. And when we return, we will be back with our sign-off with Stella Buho. Don't go anywhere.
Washtenaw Golf Site in Ypsilanti, where everyone comes to play.
Welcome back, everyone, to our final segment of Bumping and Thumping, your podcast featuring everything about for independent wrestling from around the world. I'm Annie. This is the Guardian Owl, Stella Buho. Stella, before we get out of here, why don't you tell fans how they connect with you and let us know about any upcoming opportunities that you are excited for?
All right. Well, you can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, all the socials, I believe. I think that's all of them I have underneath Stella Buho or Your Guardian Owl, some form of that. If you look it up, it should pop it up. There's only one Stella Buho.
Absolutely.
Upcoming matches. This weekend, currently, I have New Edge literally tomorrow, where I go against Ray Larson for her New Edge Women's Championship. I have a title defense in New Era Wrestling in Shelbyville, Indiana, this Saturday, July 20th. And then I also have a tag match in BMFX July 21st, where I'm tagging with Heather Blue. Then the following Friday, July 26th, is that Oopal Bangers at For Us Wrestling. The day after that, July 27th, Mr. Chainsaw up north in Kalakaska. I'm in a scramble match. And then I will be defending your Women's Chaos Championship July 28th. And I forgot where that was. But you should definitely look it up on all the socials. It'll be there.
Awesome. For viewers who have never met you before, you have a signature call out that you do. Go ahead and give our fans what they want to hear.
Hootie hoop!
That's it. Everyone, when you hear that sound, you know Stella Buho is coming after you. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you for our crew behind the scenes that make everything possible. Stella, thanks again for your time. This was a blast.
Thank you.
And absolutely. And this has been another amazing episode of Bumping and Thumping, your podcast featuring everything about for independent wrestling from around the world. I'm Annie. We'll catch you next time.
Chicken nuggets. Tell me now, Stella. Yeah!